I'd like to tell you about a show of epic proportions.
I prefer me some magic when I'm trying to get in and out of houses undetected. I prefer me some magic.
A show where the boundaries are pushed.
I like spam. Is there something wrong with that?
No, nothing at all.
I'll
meat with jelly on top of it. Go right ahead.
I'd like to tell you about that show, but that is not this show. This show is the Fortean Slip, with host Chris York.
I have a tendency to go to dark places with my humor. It is what it is. It's not going to change anytime soon.
Co-host Steve Alcorn.
It was so earth-shaking and mind-blowing that even John Teeter in the future knows about it.
And reoccurring, ever-present special guest, Matt Knapp.
Yeah, somebody should have put out like a giant bug zapper and just ended that whole Mothman debacle.
A show that lacks taste, a filter, and listeners.
Are you listening? Are you like hearing the fucking fart?
Yeah.
Not just smelling it, you're hearing
Not
the shit.
just smelling. Audible as well.
That would be something else.
Oh,
But
you
I
have
do.
parts that you can't tell if it was you or not.
Well, yeah, because
What you are about to hear may be offensive, but we don't really give a fuck.
Hello, good evening, greetings, salutations. Welcome to the Fortean Slip, episode 20. I believe it's episode 20. I could be wrong. The Chris is a lazy fuck episode. Hence why the show is 2 days late. Has no real direction. But I got a lot of sleep. Gentlemen?
aloha.
Aloha?
I
Well,
see
yeah,
you went
you
with
were-
the name of a different name than what I thought we were going with.
Oh, what were we going with?
I thought we were going with the Ramblings of a Drunken Whore episode.
That's coming up on a special episode of the Fortean Slip. I fucking
no idea.
I fucking totally was a piece of shit for 2 days.
Just two?
Just two. I couldn't get out of my own fucking way to save my life. I came home from work yesterday, crawled into bed, slept until a little after 11. Like, Steve had messaged me, like, we doing this shit? Like, basically, go, no go? Huh? What the fuck's going on? And I was just like, oh, fuck. Yeah.
So you were just waking up as I was going to bed,
Pretty much.
basically.
Yeah.
Well,
pretty
I liked
much.
the part where you woke up and I talked to you, and the only plans you had was going back to bed.
Yeah, I was like, I'm just gonna try to go back to bed, and I did.
Until you messaged me at, 2:09 in the morning with
Yeah.
something else.
Something, maybe. I don't remember. Something about
Well, you
wanting to
did.
do the show.
Something about the show.
Yeah. Let's do the show another night. Why not?
Now that night was completely over.
Yeah. What do you think about that, Steve? If you're not on board, fuck you.
You guys aren't up at 4 o'clock in the morning?
I'll start doing the show with Phil.
Phil.
Yeah, he's up at fucking 4 in the morning. He's a douche.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, so my surprise for you guys,
Yeah, it's like Christmas, man.
it's like Christmas all over again, only it's Krampus.
Without the spam.
Because it's shit in a box. I took the time to watch Bigfoot Bounty.
Wow.
What I said I would not do. I took the time to
Wow.
watch, And I want you guys to know, and to all the people who are on the show that I know that may or may not listen to this show, I don't want you to think that it pertains to you in particular.
This is going to be good.
But this show sucks a bag. Just a fucking bag. The way they do it is just horrid to me. And you know, not to the people who are on there, like what they're doing, like the way it was done. I just didn't like it at all. And like, you guys are so wax. I think you guys are so wax and fantastic on this son of a bitch. Like, this is gonna be like how I was with fucking the Star Wars prequels when they came out. I was like, these are great. This is amazing. And then every time I watched it, my excitement level went down more and more and more. Because, whoo, yeah.
So how many episodes did you watch?
I watched them all.
All 3?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, you have to admit that they got progressively a little bit better. Well, you don't have to. In fact, you can deny. I don't care. They got a little bit, progressively better, I thought. The first one kind of did suck, I thought.
I just saw nothing outside of the box of reality TV. Like, so as far as I'm concerned, Matt and Steve, your expedition is over. I'm calling in Bob and Phil and.
So I think the I lost my train of thought.
Yeah, I'm glad. No, I mean, I did. I even, like, I was like, I'm gonna go into this with an open mind. I'm gonna fucking watch it and check it out. And like I said, it's far be it from the people that are on it.
I don't care for the editing.
Right, it's the editing and the and obvious shit. Like, one thing that I noticed from watching every single time when they go through the evidence, it's like fucking Simon Cowell is like fucking grading everybody. It just trash the shit out of it.
Well, they're holding them to scientific standards.
Right, but I mean, it's just completely right down the line. But it's just funny.
It's supposed to be.
Yeah, it's supposed to be.
It's supposed to be entertainment. It's on Spike TV, for God's sake.
Fucking Bigfoot Bounty.
Sandwich in between 2 episodes of Cops.
Here's $10 million that you're never gonna fucking get. Yeah.
I don't know.
So
I don't care for the editing of the show. There's a lot that I'm sure, not that I would know, but I'm sure went on that we're not seeing, and I would like to see some of that stuff, But whatever.
Yeah, I wanted to try and I didn't want to go into it and say that I think you guys are crazy, because without giving it a fair, like, without watching it, like, I at least wanted to watch it.
Well, you could have just been like some of the other folks out there and just bash the hell out of it without watching it at all.
No, I wanted to at least watch it.
Right. I'm just saying you could have just joined that crowd.
You not liking the show doesn't bother me, because you actually watched the show and you're not bashing on the contestants. Right. The production is out of their hands. I mean, they don't get to dictate how the show's presented or anything.
I still stand by my statement of, if you want to play a good drinking game, have a drink every time Michael Merchant's an asshole, and see where it gets you.
Well, they already have that game. It's called a bender.
But
no, you'll notice that my commentary on the show declined during and after this last episode.
Well, I didn't want to bring that up, but I mean,
well, I'm going to bring it up.
But
Bring it up.
Before you bring that up, though, Matt, I want to note something. In this last episode, when Kat, is that what she's called? Is it Kat or Kathy, or what is it?
No, it's Kat.
Okay, it's Kat. Okay, so yeah. So Kat has this quote unquote sighting. Pardon me, and fucking Merchant immediately equates it, like, what happened to the sighting that his wife had here in Maine.
Oh, you caught that, huh?
Yeah, and I'm just like, really? The quote-unquote sighting?
Now, we're not going to say that Kat didn't have a sighting, because we don't know,
Right.
but, yeah, I did pick that up, too.
I'm also not going to say that Michael Merchant's wife had a sighting either.
Oh, no.
No,
Are they? I don't think they're married, are they?
I did the air quotes. I guess they are. I don't know. He
No,
said
I
his
don't
wife.
know.
Air quotes on radio.
Yeah.
The last time I saw them, they were in ski masks, blabbing on YouTube, so I have no clue.
I'm running out of a bank.
Mm-hmm.
No, I thought episode 1 was like, but like it looked like exciting, like the format and everything. It was setting up to be promising. Episode 2, I thought was better. Episode 3 took everything that they had set up about the show thus far and changed it. And that's what I didn't like.
And
I like that episode.
Are we going into that?
Well, we can. I mean, I still find the show entertaining. Whether
No,
Chris likes it or not,
and that's fine.
or whoever.
Like
I still find it entertaining.
I've said many times to both of you that we can agree to just disagree on shit.
Right.
It's not the type of thing that I find entertaining to begin with, but I have found reality TV shows entertaining before. I mean, it's not like it's outside of the realm of possibility, but I gave it a shot. I watched it. So, I mean, you like that sort of thing. Hey, that's cool. That's fine. But,
and like, comparatively speaking, whenever we're putting it on the scale of where you're comparing it to all other Bigfoot television series, which is Finding Bigfoot, at this point in time.
Wow, the pinnacle of Bigfoot TV shows.
Right. I find it just as entertaining as Finding Bigfoot. Like, I don't think Finding Bigfoot is a great show, but whatever. People like it, apparently. It's still on the air for the time being. But, yeah, episode 3, I was a bit disappointed. I was disappointed in some of the things that were said on the show. I was disappointed in the way that the eliminations worked. I was disappointed in the initial field test or whatever that they did with the live trapping.
Yeah, I didn't get that.
Like, we know that heavy editing takes place on television, so what was the point of having that field test on there if it didn't acquire any results?
Well, everybody knows that when you put a box trap out, you're not probably going to get something the first night, and it was only a one-night field test.
Right. I don't even believe it was 24 hours, and it was in a very confined area, and a lot of people didn't know what they were doing.
But we all know from our time of watching Monster Quest that you go out for a day or two and you find nothing
Right.
every single time. So, why not use the tried and true method of go out for one day and find fucking nothing?
Well, it's working.
Well, they got $10 million to protect,
That's right.
So they're going to send you out there for 2 months.
Exactly.
My whole deal is, if you're setting the show up where eliminations occur based on the evidence collected, and from the first episode they made it clear, if you come back with nothing, that's grounds for elimination. So in episode 3, correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe only 2 teams actually brought something back, and that was the Giants, as they're called, I believe, the Native American team that brought back a rock, and Dax and Rictor, who brought back some very poor quality possible track castings. Everybody else brought back photographs of stuff. The girl team tried to bring back a hair. They said the hair wasn't in there, whatever, so that results as nothing. So how do you kick off not only one of the two teams that actually brought back physical evidence, but you send home the team that brought back track castings and leave the team that brought back a rock? That made absolutely no sense to me. And, like, I'm glad that, you know, Cat had a possible sighting, but technically it could have been anything.
And they didn't have any footage
Possibly
of it.
nothing at all. They had no footage. They didn't bring anything back, and they're still on the show. And they didn't, I mean, wasn't that like Merchant's whole deal was like bringing back other stuff to support the argument that there's, you know, viable food sources in an area and not actual evidence to be tested?
Right.
And they've gotten onto him the past 2 weeks for that, and the third week he brings nothing, and they leave him on the show.
He wasn't even called into the elimination process at all, right?
Right.
Third one.
No,
I mean, that
no, in the
just
third,
really
in the
doesn't
third
make
one he
sense to me.
was.
Was he?
Yep.
I can't remember now. They all blend together.
Yeah, he was. But yeah, so I mean, I just like I said, I wanted to give it a fair shake and watch it before I, you know, gave
Bash
my
on it.
Yeah, gave my opinion of it. And like I said, it has nothing to do with the people that are on it. It just has to do with the way that the show is put together. It's just it's very cookie cutter reality TV show to me.
Absolutely, I agree with you there, Chris. It is cookie cutter, but it's, to me, it's entertaining mainly because, first of all, I know people on the show, and second of all, it's Bigfoot related, so it's always going to be entertaining for that purpose.
Right. It's always fun to watch people, you know, make asses of themselves on national television.
Right, absolutely.
Right.
And Chris, you and I could have been making asses of ourselves on that show too.
Absolutely.
And I truly wish
But
you
then
were.
I wouldn't have been watching it.
There's always a season 2, man.
Then I would hang my head in shame
Or
every day.
Or not.
Every day I would just walk around going, I am a piece of shit.
A piece of shit on TV.
And on that note, Steve, don't you have some fucking news?
News time already?
Yeah. Dude, this is the I'm a lazy fuck episode.
Oh, okay, I get it now. From technologyreview.com, the first tests of prototype organic wires are grown from seedlings. Self-growing circuits made out of biological structures such as plant stems act as temperature sensors. They spelled sensors wrong. And more, says expert in unconventional computing. The study of electrical properties of plants in a sleepy backwater of botany that has never generated widespread interest or finding. For example, in 1995, one group carefully evaluated the physiological state of a cucumber by measuring its electrical impedance. Others have done the same for olive trees. That's surely interesting work, but hardly likely to set the world on fire.
I've heard of some women also testing the impedance of cucumbers. What?
With or without a condom on the cucumber?
I went to the wrong place with that.
It depends on what they're into.
Right, okay.
No, you went directly to the right place.
I know. I know. Today, Andrew Adamatsky at the University of the West of England in Bristol argues that the electrical properties of plants have been overlooked.
What's his name?
Yeah, okay.
Andrew Adamansky?
Yeah, something of that nature. And he takes one step to putting this right by measuring the electrical properties of lettuce seedlings.
By measuring the cucumbers and lining them up in order of deliciousness.
Let me solve this for you. There's none.
Adamatsky's interest is more than mere curiosity. His idea is that plants can be thought of as organic wires that could become the infrastructure behind an entirely new generation of biological circuits, sensors, and even information processors that grow from scratch with little more than a sprinkle of water and a little soil.
And what happens when you run heat through that? That's going to work out well.
Before any of that can happen, however, the electrical properties of plant wires must be fully characterized, hence his work. Adamatsky's work is a set of experiments to measure these wires' resistance, electrical potential, transfer function, and any other relevant characteristics. I haven't been drinking. These experiments are extremely simple.
You should have.
I probably should have. They consist of placing a lettuce seedling across a 10 millimeter gap in a circuit, passing a 1 microamp current through it, and simply measuring its resistance and electrical potential over a period of 10 minutes. Adamatsky repeated this for 25 different seedlings. He says the results are straightforward. The average resistance of the seedling was 2.76 mega ohms. This is much higher than the resistance of conventional conductors, yet relatively low comparing to resistance of other living creatures. For example, the resistance of the slime mold, which grows protoplasmic tubes that also act as wires of about the same length, and lettuce seedlings in some 3 mega ohms. What a great story, Chris. Thanks for picking that one out.
I'm letting you
I'm going to
flounder
shove
on this
carrots
one.
into my flashlight.
From the NewYorkPost.com, Bitcoins will now buy you a Lamborghini and college courses. Benjamin Lowski, chief of New York State's Department of
So in
Financial
the other
Services.
story, they're making the Matrix, and in this story, we're proving it already exists.
Right. Benjamin Lowski, chief of New York State's Department of Financial Services, will be holding a series of hearings starting on Tuesday to discuss regulation of virtual currencies like Bitcoin, a country-less online security that debuted in 2009. The cyber currency has become increasingly popular among retailers, and now Bitcoin owners can buy a whole array of things, including a Lamborghini, a barbecue, and even college courses with their virtual wallets. Web auction site eBay is considering allowing customers to make payments with it, according to reports. Despite its move to the mainstream, Bitcoin remains a magnet for criminals, including drug smugglers, money launderers, and child pornographers.
Told you.
Yeah. Just yesterday in Manhattan federal court, indictments were unsealed against 2 defendants, Charlie Shrem and Robert Failla, on charges of scheming to sell the cryptocurrency to the operator of Silk Road. Indeed, it was the main source of currency used by Silk Road, an online black market for illegal drugs that was shut down by law enforcement in October. Lowski is holding the hearings on Tuesday and Wednesday to discuss whether to regulate Bitcoin transactions through a BIT license, which would come with anti-money laundering requirements. He's invited experts, including Bitcoin aficionados like Winklevoss twins. I have no idea who that is.
They were the guys. They were the guys that fought with fucking what's his face for Facebook. Zuckerberg, the Winklevoss.
Yeah, and Fred Wilson. Yeah, and Fred Wilson of venture capital firm Union Square Ventures. Bitcoin may still be a part of a wild, unregulated market, but there are 5 things you can buy with the currency right now. You can buy a flat-screen TV. You can buy a barbecue, a Lamborghini, a night at the D in Vegas. That's a casino hotel, apparently. And an education from the University of Cumbria. And that's the 5 things you can buy with Bitcoins besides all those other things.
I got a good segue for this story, Steve.
Okay.
You know, speaking of pedos, the animal control officer here in the town of Windham, Maine, was arrested at his home in Casco for a little bit of child pornography. Yeah.
Interesting. Is this the guy that was in your house?
This is the guy that was in my house. Tried telling me that my fucking dog was underweight.
And he's telling you that your dog is underweight, and he's looking at underage children.
Pretty fucking much. But yeah,
All right.
back to the news, Steve.
And in our final story from theblaze.com, a real-life demon possession is being reported in Indiana. The details are almost too horrifying to believe. Apparently, a terrified mother claims she watched in horror as her demon-possessed 9-year-old son walked backwards up a wall and ceiling. Her claims would be easy to dismiss if a child services caseworker and a nurse weren't reportedly there to witness it all. Latoya Amons claims all 3 of her children showed signs of being possessed, including evil smiles and strangely deep voices, the Indianapolis Star reports. The mother says she also witnessed her 12-year-old daughter levitating in their Gary, Indiana home. Strangely enough, the scary-sounding incident is outlined in official documents. Further, Gary Police Captain Charles Austin told us... Gary Police Captain Charles Austin told the Star that he is a believer after making several visits to the home and interviewing witnesses. He first thought the family was making stories up as part of a get-rich-quick scheme.
Because nothing makes money quicker than demonic possession.
Amon's home was exorcised by a Catholic priest in a number of ceremonies that were reportedly authorized by the Diocese.
Didn't you know they like TV evangelists?
The story apparently became so believable that officers with the police department said that they were too scared to stay at the house, and some city officials wouldn't even step foot on the property.
Thus verifying everything that's being claimed.
The 32-year-old mother says the spirits that haunted her family's house were only vanquished after she moved away and underwent several exorcisms. The unbelievable story has come to light after the Indianapolis Star obtained hundreds of pages of official documents.
The thug-like looking characters that lived around the area.
Jimmy, get down from that ceiling right now.
The Amons family moved into the rental house on Carolina Street in Gary, Indiana, back in November 2011. They soon noticed strange occurrences, including swarms of flies around the house, footsteps in the basement, and wet footprints streaking across the living room floor. But what happened next made those incidents seem pleasant.
Oh, what was that, Steve?
In March of 2012, Amons claimed she rushed to check on her 12-year-old daughter after hearing her screams. When she entered the bedroom, she says she witnessed her daughter levitating above her bed, unconscious.
That was just the first time that she masturbated with her electric toothbrush. That was supposed to be funny, Steve.
She was 12.
Yes, Chris. I was kind of... Yeah. The family and some of the guests they were hosting prayed over the girl until she returned back to the bed. The girl reportedly didn't remember anything about it. The torment reportedly continued, and the family wasn't in a position financially to flee the home, so the family contacted churches and clairvoyants for help, but they received little relief. The clairvoyants allegedly told the family their house was haunted by more than 200 demons. Mons claims her children's eyes bulged.
What the hell happened in this house?
Mons claims that her children's eyes bulged, and
devil's work, Matt. That's what happens there.
And
they regularly sported evil smiles, effects of their possession. Her youngest child would reportedly sit in a closet and talk to an invisible child that no one could see. She also claims he was once thrown from the bathroom when no one was even near him. Most of Amon's allegations are backed up by her mother, Rosa Campbell, who also lived in the house. Later in 2012, Child Protective Services in Indiana was contacted to investigate the mother for possible child abuse or mental illness. A psychiatrist reportedly evaluated Amon's and determined she was not mentally ill. A family case manager reportedly interviewed the family and witnessed a number of strange occurrences. Valerie Washington confirmed that she witnessed the youngest boy growling before his eyes rolled back in his head.
My daughter does that every weekend.
Yeah.
Washington also claimed she saw the 9-year-old boy flash a weird grin and then walk backward up a wall to the ceiling.
That's a little weird.
Her account was corroborated by a nurse. There's no way he could have done that, the nurse told the Star. After being sent to investigate, Amon's Washington concluded that the evil influence might be affecting the family. If you believe that story, you can, read more about it online.
Go fuck yourself.
All right, guys, that's the news.
Wow. I think there's going to be like a big reveal there, and they're all like magicians.
Could be.
It's a viral campaign for a new movie.
Yeah, exactly.
And that story came to us from, what's her name, Sherry Linton?
I think it was Sherry Linton. She posted that in the group.
Yes.
Thank you, Sherry.
That was a good story. I liked it.
Who's Sherry Linton?
I don't know. Somebody.
She is our biggest fan.
Yeah, there you go. She's like the bitch from
We
Misery.
have a fan. We have one fan. I love it.
She's going to come and kill us.
And shout out to David Batdorf, our other fan.
Yeah, David's a good fan.
In the Squatchers Lounge podcast, Jeff always throws us a bone.
Here's one back.
I would like to thank my mother for being forced to listen to this show on occasion.
Drown him out, Chris.
Dun, 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 dun. I'm fucking lazy. Hence the name of this episode.
That's all right. So am I. Does this music ever end?